You know, I went to a strip club recently in Toronto, and the ceilings were so low that the strippers were bonking their heads. And I was like, wow, is this not a metaphor for Canadian, like, entertainment? A lot of industries, like there's a ceiling here, and the Magic City poles, they go right to the sky.
So what here, was it a glass ceiling or like a cement ceiling?
Cement.
Yeah.
You can't bust through that.
Sounds about right.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Amanda Cordner, Amanda, 5 and 6, Toronto local. Welcome to another episode of All Roads Lead to Magic City. We have a new guest here with us, Jelani Francis, a seasoned accountant, entrepreneur, and owner of J. Francis Professional Corporation, has extensive experience in financial management and consultancy. Jelani specializes in providing entrepreneurs with expert guidance on financial literacy, investment strategies, and tax planning. Ooh. As a trusted advisor, he is dedicated to empowering entrepreneurs and businesses with financial knowledge and financial literacy in today's business landscape. Welcome, Jelani.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
That was great. I appreciate it.
I know. You're a rock star, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Sound great. Amazing.
Big boss.
Yes, thank you.
Now,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Right away. No problem.
Jumping right into it.
Yeah, right away, yes.
As someone who has inconsistent income,
Yes.
what is your advice? What financial advice can you give to artists and maybe those entrepreneurs too have inconsistent income when starting out?
Yes.
What is your advice? What's your guidance?
Well, I can attack this from different angles. So
Yeah, let's
first and
attack.
foremost, I would say keep your receipts, keep all that stuff, because a lot of people getting into this space don't understand that you are a business. So you want to be able to write off certain things. A lot of that money that you're putting in, you can at least get some type of cash flow back. So that's first and foremost. Second, as crazy as it sounds, right away, don't quit your day job. Continue to work wherever you have to work, whether it's as a waiter or waitress, wherever you can, that's flexible around your schedule, to continue to get that type of income, steady income, so that you can use your other time to continue to do your art and your passion.
For sure. So can I tell you what job I'm thinking of getting into?
I'd love to hear it.
I want to be a stripper at Magic City in Atlanta to supplement my artistic lifestyle.
That works, as long as that doesn't take away.
Oh, it won't take away from acting.
I guess it's a night job, so you get to still work and
Exactly.
everything like that. So no, that works.
Okay.
That works. So tell me more about this.
Have you
hustle.
been to Magic City? Have you been?
I have.
You're our first guest on here who has been to Magic City.
Yes.
So you know.
Yes, I do.
You know the glamour,
Yes.
the elite performance,
Performance for sure.
the athleticism.
For sure.
Jermaine Dupri calls it hip hop adult Cirque du Soleil.
I could see that.
So me, Canadian auditioning, frustrated actor, went to Magic City, saw this,
Yes.
ended up talking to a dancer about how much she makes in a night, between $3,000 and $6,000 a night, Jay.
USD.
USD.
Yep.
And I thought, what am I doing? Why would I go back to coffee when I could shake my ass and have it rain? Yes.
I mean,
Make it rain on this ass. Why would I go back to customer service?
I mean, that's customer service.
Oh, it's a different, for
it's
sure.
customer service.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Serving my body instead of coffee or meals.
Yeah, some might see it as coffee too, so you never know. It depends on who's there.
Okay, so advise me financially. I make all this money, all my $1 bills. I bring it back to Canada, and I come to you. How would you advise me? What do I do if I want? You're allowed.
No. This is a tough question because this is a lot of cash that you're coming back with.
Yes. So the legal amount I'm allowed to bring back is 10,000 and under.
Yes.
So let's say I come back with 9,999.
Yes. And then I would say make a couple more trips back and forth.
Okay.
To do what you have to do. first of all, I'm speaking to you as a friend.
Okay,
right now.
speak to me as a friend.
Yeah, I wouldn't say as a financial advisor, just as a friend right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say make a couple trips, continue to bring that money in. You probably want to clean it up as much as possible while
Clean
you're
it
over there. Like run it through a legit business and everything like that. I think, I don't know what their situations are over there, but I'm sure the fact that they're making cash, they keep it cash.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I would say to try to clean it up as much as possible, whatever you can.
When you say clean, I hear launder.
Yeah, and clean. So
Yes.
you are right. It sounds like that.
Yes.
That's not what I mean. As,
Okay.
as a friend.
As a friend. Not under the J. Francis Corporation.
As a friend, that's
Talk
not
to me,
what I
talk
mean.
to me.
But yeah, I could see where you get that misconception. When I
Yes.
say clean, it just more so means the money is dirty, and you want to be able to put it through a system where you're able to have it legitimized, because when it's falling from the sky, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
But once you start putting it through a business and everything like that, it's considered valid money.
Okay. I want to go back to Magic City. Do you think there's a difference between acting and stripping?
No, I think there's an aspect of acting in stripping as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think a
Tell
lot
me
of
more.
the people there, just like yourself, sometimes I went in just to speak, right? I was curious.
Yeah.
How did you get here, right? And I think I came from a different mindset there, but you have to have some type of acting because you're performing still.
Yeah.
And people want to see a performance. They come there for a certain reason. So I think there is.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they come for the persona and disappointed maybe when it doesn't, there's like a double-edged sword here.
Yeah.
It's like you want the fantasy,
Yeah.
but then the resentment for paying for it too. Of like, oh, does she really like me? Or
Yeah.
does she like me because I'm making it rain on her booty?
Yeah. Expectations.
Expectations lead to resentment.
Yes, always.
Constantly.
Always.
This is the game.
Yep. So if you come there with $5,000 expecting something from it, then just expect to be $5,000 down. Really.
Exactly.
That's all you can really expect.
And you know what's really interesting? I was reading an article about Michael Magic Barney, the owner of Magic City.
I didn't know him. Okay.
Yeah. Middle name Magic.
Okay, yeah.
He was saying that today, because there's no gratitude anymore,
For sure.
especially from the dancers, because everybody's coming in there tossing cash, and it's more about the competition and who can spend the most cash there.
Yes.
It's not necessarily about the girls anymore, the women, that it's about out cashing each other or out reigning each other, if that makes it, the competing
I can see that.
reigning. That because now the women are so used to all this cash flowing that nobody says thank you anymore. This is his observation or complaints. I don't know.
And thank you to who? Thank you to the dancers, or thank you to the people throwing the money?
Thank you to the people throwing the money. Right?
It's expected. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I guess so. Any other place, no one is making $3,000 to $6,000 a night. Not in other strip clubs. This is actually
yes,
this is like elite.
Yes.
In Toronto, that's not happening, for sure.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
not.
see that. No. It's hard to throw loonies and toonies
Yeah, getting bruised by the metal. Please.
Yeah.
And also, our ceilings are lower here too. I noticed at the strip clubs versus there.
Okay.
They were climbing to the heights.
Yeah.
The metaphor of that low Canadian ceiling.
There you go.
And in the States,
go.
it's you can climb to the top.
Yep, right to the sky.
Right to the sky.
Yep.
Swing and booty shake in the air.
Do it upside down,
Exactly.
sideways. They're like gymnasts.
Exactly.
They're like gymnasts.
Cirque du Soleil. So Magic was saying that if you work there long enough, you get used to that kind of cash coming in. So you forget that in the real world, nobody is making that kind of money. Not even in service, bartending, in any other industry.
Yeah.
So there's an expectation there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're still dancing for daddy. And yet not saying thank you to daddy. This is the complaint. This is what I'm hearing anyway.
Is Magic Daddy?
Oh, hell yeah, he is.
Okay.
I think he's part of it.
I see.
You have to audition for him. And he is the gatekeeper. He's the one with the keys that you stand in front of, looks at your body, does an intake, I guess, and tells you whether or not you are Magic City material. So this is what the journey of this show is.
Yes.
So this is one part of it.
Yep.
We're talking to you and other people and guests about mindset.
Yes.
How do we get that elite mindset to become the best in our field?
Yes.
You're the best in your field?
Yes.
One of the best?
Yes.
And make our way to Magic City. And we'll see what becomes of that. But this is the goal.
Yeah, so I think, again, in the arts too, a lot of things have changed and shifted. Before getting into the arts, they would want to pick someone and create that person from the ground up.
Right.
And almost make them cookie cutter. They call them industry plans and all that type of stuff. But nowadays, I think if you come in with your whole program going on,
that's it.
Respectfully, Magic, who is he to deny you if you're already coming with the following?
Right.
So I mean, right? Yes, I can't call him daddy, but yes, he's someone's daddy.
He's daddy.
Yes,
yeah.
But I mean, I can understand the mindset if they're already coming with a certain following that they may feel like they're doing him a favor.
Interesting. And see, I didn't think of it from that perspective. I was thinking of it like we're building the audience to follow our film. Like we're building this audience so that we have a chance to get funded to make this film. Because like you said, back then, it was like your talent was sought after.
Yes.
And we're going to foster your talent.
Yes.
And the audience will come.
Yes.
Now, you have to have audience.
You have to have audience, yeah.
Even in auditioning for film and TV, if it comes down to me and another actor with more followers, they're going to go with that one.
Yes, yep.
Built-in audience.
Yeah, built-in, yep.
And so this is our attempt.
It'll work.
To make our own work.
Yep.
And build that audience for our final product. But we're also going to stop at Magic City. I didn't think of that, of like, he must let me in. He must let me in. If I come with a whole following to him too.
Yeah, unless there's an ego and pride thing there for him. But I mean, if you're coming with something and you have something to bring already, more times than not, you are bringing new patrons to his place.
Totally.
If you sell it that way too, you're bringing new people to his place, new cash, new eyes, new viewership. So having that, I think you have more say.
Yeah.
Because then you'll just go down the street to Onyx, or you go down the street to another.
Yeah, see? Or Claremont when when I'm over 50.
Or you can set the trend under 50, go there early and just set
go
the trend.
there early. I don't want to take away from, we gotta, everybody has to have their little, their hub. I don't want to take away from my 50 plus demographic, all the dancers. I could be like a pop-up stripper, who has like the little following, and little Canadian comedian Amanda is going to be dancing tonight at Magic City. Come see her.
Yeah, that could work.
But what's interesting too is a lot of musicians, rappers, producers, they get their shot at Magic City.
Yes.
By having their tracks played.
Yes.
For the dancers.
Exactly.
And I'm wondering here, this is our social experiment to find out, is it a career booster for a dancer, an actor who becomes a dancer?
I think so.
Yeah, talk to me.
Because I think if you're able to show that you can do different things at different times, or you have a skill in different things, or you're even bringing a crowd from the acting crowd over into the strip club, which I don't think I know off the top of my head anyone that's done that. I think it gives you a different view, and in a world where everyone's doing the same thing, I think having that side of it and doing it that way, I think will give you a better chance, in the sense that people will say, okay, this is an actor that's going to strip. I wonder what she's about, right?
Yeah.
It just gives you more of an edge versus someone that just popped up.
Yeah. Or actors who go to LA to fight it out with all those actors, or go to New York to fight it out with all those. And there is, right, this stereotype for Canadian entertainers that for them to reach some kind of pinnacle of success,
Yeah.
they have to touch down on American soil.
Yeah.
And there's a joke of like, you don't even have to do anything. Just put your foot on American soil, come back, and you'll be
Yeah.
a working actor.
How do you feel about that? Like having to
I'm disappointed.
to feel like you have to leave your home in order to get to the point that you want to be, just to have your home embrace you once you get to that point.
I find it frustrating. I find it disgusting because there's so much talent here, incredible talent here.
Yep.
And I can't believe we're still like telling this story.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've heard so much rhetoric from politicians too, who are like, we are going to be the leaders in our art sector, that we don't want our Canadian talent to go south to become whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, this is still the case.
Yeah.
I feel that I have reached the ceiling. I was a lead on a big Canadian show
Yep.
called Sort of.
Yep.
That ended last summer. We shot the last season last summer. And then, it picks up when there's press and it's going to be released. So there's all these events and things that you need to attend. But now it's officially done.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And I haven't worked since.
So can I speak on that a little bit?
Please,
if you
speak
don't
to
mind?
me.
So that's the thing I think in the acting world. So
Yes.
an example I used to watch a show called The Wire.
Yeah.
I really loved that show. And in The Wire, it had a lot of different actors and actresses in that show that came from there. Now, one in particular, I believe Michael B. Jordan
Yeah.
was Wallace in the show. And he died in the first season, right?
And then,
And then boom, but not right away, because
Yeah.
I think that show was 2002.
yes.
And then maybe he got his first big break by creating, I think, Fruitvale Station. I could be something before. Could
Yeah.
be, if I am, I apologize.
That's
But,
okay.
I think Fruitvale Station is what he created himself, and from there he skyrocketed.
Yes.
So even the same formula that you're doing is creating your own thing in order for other people to see you. Now
For sure.
he's on blockbuster movies and everything like that. So I think it takes time in this. The thing I like about acting is that, unlike, let's say, sports, the older you get, the more seasoned you get. Maybe they'll
Yes.
restrict you to certain roles, but you get more knowledge and you're able to do things. You can get your Morgan Freeman on and just be able to kind of establish yourself there. But you can always just continue to get better and better and better, and
Exactly.
you have time. So it's a patience game as well. So I'm confident you will get back there. So I say all that to say,
How do you
sometimes,
know? You have this confidence in me. You just met me.
yeah, just
Talk to me.
just feelings. And I think you even doing this in the first place, being here and trying to do something, shows that you're willing to do what needs to be done in order to get.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I can tell you that's one thing. I've never waited around.
And you can't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Can't.
I still audition, obviously, that's part of the game. But I've never been one to wait around for someone to pick me because it ain't going to happen.
It doesn't happen. So I always tell people that after your 9 to 5, there's still 5 to 9. And it's what you do with that 5 to 9 that determines what you're going to do with your future 9 to 5.
Whoa.
I know it's a lot of numbers, but just that's how I always think. So I think you're always doing something. You're always thinking of something. You're always trying to do something to better yourself. Of course, still having your own relaxing time, but it's a constant thing. It doesn't really stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
And money, I've also heard this adage like money is emotional, not necessarily math, but emotional.
Could you explain more on that?
Yeah. So like our spending is emotionally driven, especially being socialized as a woman. There's a lot of, I know that I have the idea of like making money is bad, and I should be more humble in my search for financial independence. Like I could be financial. I don't have to be wealthy. Here, look at me being small, making myself small, and not allowing this idea of like money flows to me consistently and what do we say? Flows consistently and abundantly.
Yes. Yeah.
Big garbage bags. Exactly.
Yep.
That like, let's do a little financial therapy in this moment here.
Let's do it.
help me and those other out maybe out there who are going through the same thing of like, how do we get over this money, maybe scarcity, or this idea that like, why not me? Why can't I make this money too? Or
It's, I guess your relationship with it is the most important thing. How do you see it? Again, it goes back to my baseline, respect. Do you respect the money? Do you respect how it's coming in?
Yeah.
Do you have stability with it? I don't think money itself has emotions.
No.
It doesn't care whose pocket it's in,
Of
whose
course
bank
not.
account it's in. It likes to travel, so it likes to grow at the same time too.
Yeah.
So I think it's just first and foremost the relationship, understanding it. I think if you understood how the dollar works,
Yeah.
you would save a little bit more of it and not try to put it towards so many vices.
How does the dollar work
So
in like a sound bite?
so if you were to speak to someone and you say, you know what, just save your money, you'll earn 10% every year, right?
Yeah.
People say 10%. So off $1, I'll get 10 cents. Nah, I don't want to care about that. But if you were to sit there and see how that compounding works over 10 years,
For sure.
or if you did it 10 years ago and see what that money looked like now, you would respect it a lot more to know that your money is more than double just for sitting around. So respecting money in the sense that you could spend it here and continue to have a cycle of expenses, or you could put a little bit to a side, have delayed gratification,
Exactly.
and allow that to grow to a point where it could just start paying for whatever you have to do, and you could still have that same feeling towards it too. So just understanding the power of a dollar,
Yes.
what it can do. Like if you're making 4 to 6 thousand a day,
Yeah. 3 to 6,000 a day.
and you do that for what, a month?
Yeah.
Let's say every day you didn't take Sundays off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
180,000 for the year, at least at least 2.2 million. You should never be broke ever,
Look at that math.
ever. I don't know if 2.2 million is.
Yeah.
I know,
Yes.
but you should be good for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got 2.2 million. If you get paid 10% every year, that's 220,000 a year.
Yeah.
That 2.2 million should never go away.
Exactly.
So
Cash flow planning.
cash flow planning is
Wealth
just that,
coordination.
Yeah. So you see how 10% sounds different
Yes.
after a certain point. So it's always respecting the percentages. It's always just taking care of those. And I would love to see. Sounds crazy. I'd love to see you do this
Yes.
and do it for, let's say, if you're going to do it for a year.
Yeah.
Get what you can for a year, sacrifice for a year,
Yeah.
and see what it could build up. Because now, if you're acting with 200,000 coming in every year, you'll do it a lot more freely. You'll start picking your own roles. You'll start doing more of this stuff. You'll have more control of what you do because the money is not making you emotional anymore.
Exactly. And the money or the inconsistency is not making me emotional anymore.
Yep. They say money's not important until it is.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you don't have it, it's more important. But once you start getting it, people are like, money isn't everything. But it's easier to say once you're in a certain situation. So I think the emotions to money in general is always going to be there, especially if you feel like it's eluding you.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is not to be super emotional about it. It's almost like doing an audition. Like I think the more you go in there so invested in getting that role,
The
further away it is. But if you go in there and say, I'm just going to do what I want to do it how I do it, those ones usually come to you more for whatever. I don't know why the universe works that way, but it usually just.
Well, it's that detachment and letting it flow.
Yeah. No expectation. Just doing what you got to do.
Wow. But the mindset.
It's all about mindset.
Exactly.
I think everything starts here. Everything
it must.
There. Yeah. Everything starts there. Belief.
And money mindset.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, make it work for you.
Yes.
So you can release the emotion towards it.
Yes. Yep.
And for those starting out, I mean, you said keep your receipts. Like that was your.
Keep those. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
For artists specifically, I'm thinking.
Artists, specific. Yeah. And I'm really speaking about the starting point. I think as you continue to grow, it's not so much about receipts, but understanding the difference between, I guess, being rich and wealthy.
What's the difference?
If I'm going to take this to an accounting standpoint, your income statement is you're rich, like how rich you are in the year, how much you're getting in versus your expenses, but your balance sheet will really show how much wealth you have. So continue to put that money into assets, invest in yourself, put it into all your equipment. to make your things better, to make your quality better. Keep investing in that so you can continue to be rich to feed your wealth back and forth. So I think just a lot of people don't invest in themselves because they're trying to maybe search for something fleeting. I think like sometimes there'll be clothes on your back. You think that's going to make people see you a certain way and give you opportunities. Whereas I think just investing in your cameras, get a better camera, get better mics, right?
Yeah.
Get mic stands. Like, you know what I mean? Just things that will continue to create a better product, which will kind of bounce back and forth. And once you see that, money will start flowing in naturally, I think, in my opinion.
Well, you see this setup here?
Yes. yes. It's great. It's a nice setup.
You know?
Yeah.
And it started with just these mics.
Exactly.
And then one light.
Exactly.
Turned into this glorious setup here.
Yep.
So minute to minute, we are expanding and growing.
Exactly. And it takes time. And everything's investing. It takes time. Like some people want overnight success. Some things
real.
are like that, don't get me wrong. But fast money could also lead to other fast lifestyle things.
Whoa.
So if you...
But stripping's fast money, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said if you could do stripping and you could slow it down after. If you could slow it down after,
Yes.
that's the hard part. Because if you're so used to making $4,000 to $6,000 a day, I can only imagine what it's like when you stop and say, okay, things get rough. You probably say, I can go back.
That was one thing one of the dancers said was it's hard to get out of the lifestyle.
It all starts there, like just knowing when to leave, knowing when enough is enough, knowing the power of a dollar, right? You can still create that if you just have a little bit more financial literacy of how to use that money.
Yeah.
Don't try to get that G-Wagon in the first 2 weeks.
No.
Right? That's going to continue to have expenses. That's going to make you chase. Build it up. Live with your parents if you have to in the beginning. Don't worry what anyone has to say because in 5 years, people will forget.
Yeah, financial literacy, I know for me, was super important. I had to seek it out on my own. Like there was nobody teaching me.
Yep.
And especially in the artistic lifestyle. I did meet this one actor who was on a series. It ran for 5 years. She bought a house.
Yep.
The show ended. And then she couldn't pay for her house. She lost it.
Damn.
Everything.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that was over 5 years. She didn't buy the G-Wagon. You know, she didn't buy the house in her first year of... Yeah, so I don't know what went wrong in her her money-making realm, or I don't know. Maybe she didn't invest. Who the F knows? But this is real for artists, right?
Yeah,
and when should I incorporate? Oh, Jay Francis, guide me, please.
That's another question. So to quickly touch on the other one.
Tell me.
So for the home, I think it goes back to the emotion. A lot of people buy homes because they want to live it in themselves. They want to be in the spot they purchased. But I would say just from a financial literacy point, if you can buy, first and foremost, we're in Toronto, home prices don't even make sense to even purchase. Like you're paying an arm and a leg just to even live in your own home. So if you, it's today as we're speaking, it might be better to rent than to own. Like just today, I don't know if this is time stamped or anything, but just today it's probably better to.
It's 2024.
It's probably better to rent than to own unless you're going to move outside of the city where you could buy an investment property, rent it out, and still rent where you want to live. But I don't think people take the emotion out of that too. So it's all about...
Because it means something, right?
It
It's
means
status.
something.
I own. Do you own your property?
Yes,
I know I
exactly.
feel the cloak of shame when I'm like, I rent. But also my overhead is so low. So
which is perfect.
Exactly.
So I think getting out of that mind frame of thinking that you have to own where you live, you could still own, that's your balance sheet. But as long as your cost of living is super low, that's the most important thing. Your income statement, your richness for the year is continuing to grow. It doesn't matter how much you make, as long as you're making. That's the most important thing. So I think in general, I really like what you said. I think a lot of people are emotional with money. I think if you put a little bit more logic to it, because I think we do need emotion. If you put a little bit more logic to the money, see things for what it is as opposed to what you want it to be, a lot more people will be better.
I mean, I think also there's a lot of trauma around money making, spending, what it means to have it, what it means to not have it. You know, I know for sure I get into scarcity mindset and, because I've always been the one that's had 3 jobs.
Okay,
I've always had 3 jobs.
Yes.
It was one of those things. I'm like, I know how to make money happen and come to me. And I'm very resourceful. I'm also like literate in like applying for subsidies.
Yes,
and
so that's good, yeah.
you know, it's pretty, you know, one year I made like $11,000 and I was like, wow, it's really fun being poor because there's so many resources out there. Like I got a discount, gym membership, like half price, half price massages for artists at this one location. I was like, wow, look at me sourcing all these things.
Yes, exactly.
But, you know, not everyone has access to that or time or maybe, the literacy to do that. But also I'm in this place now where I don't want to work the 3 jobs.
Yes.
I want to do what I want to do
and
supplement otherwise.
Yep.
But it is emotional. Money is emotional for me at this point. And you're saying be more logical about it. But how do you detangle the emotion from it?
So I guess
where do you even start?
Yeah, so let's start from the trauma. You said you had, I don't know if you're speaking personally, but you had some trauma. Where does that trauma come from? I think that's the first thing, is determining where that comes from.
Yes.
What is it rooted in? Is it because you want to look like money? Is it because you had situations where financing your home situation, like where does it come from? I think the root is key.
For sure, my background is Italian and Trinidadian. The Italian side, why aren't you making money? You need to be making money. Amanda, are you making money? What do you mean you act? This is not my mom. This is like my extended family. Like, what do you mean? Do you make money, Amanda? Like, I can't even go to family events without this like, they're going to be asking me today how much money I make, you know? So like that armor already, or that I already have that spiral in my head of like,
a defense.
A defense, exactly.
It's the outside sources again. So it's always hard. When you have a lot of outside sources, it's hard. Family is a big one because we always want to make sure our family's happy. Extended family and all that type of stuff. So it's difficult in that sense to have that. Like, it's hard to battle those. It's just limiting the noise as much as possible.
Eliminating the noise.
Like, you might have to tell them to screw off.
For sure.
Get off my back.
I do. I'm like, I do make money.
Yeah.
Do I ask you how much money you make? Exactly.
So I think it's just standing up for yourself in that sense, if you don't already do so, and just tell them to screw off. Like, get out of here. Don't worry about me. Yeah, I'm good.
I am good.
Yeah, I'm good. Let them know.
Thank you, Jay Francis.
Yes.
You know, I'm bringing Jay Francis everywhere I go. Money management, financial therapy.
Yeah. So where you get money, just talk to him.
Exactly. Talk to him.
Just talk to him. He'll give you the answers.
For sure. Any last words of advice out there for artists, for money-making mindsets?
Yeah, just stay strong. It all starts with the mind.
It all starts with the mind.
Limit the noise as much as possible. Do what you have to do and believe in yourself. I think try to add a little bit more logic to it. And what I mean by logic is, so I think logic is the brain, emotions the heart. You still have to have some type of emotion, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the balance of it has to make sense. Focus on yourself, continue to make yourself better, and in time you'll see that the hard work will pay off. Hell yeah.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about? Promote yourself, Jay Francis?
Jay Francis, help corporations, I help people, I help people with financial literacy. I help people try to improve what they already have going on.
Yeah.
So I'm more like a catalyst. No one's special really, just to help people just see things differently, that's all.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Whee! All Roads Lead to Magic City with Amanda Cordner is produced by Clark Park Films, Monica Ayamusalier, and Stephanie Cowan, and is sponsored by Little Havana Cafe. The show is executive produced by Amanda Cordner and directed by Monica Ayamusalier and lighting design by Stephen Elphick. Thank you so much for listening. Please join me next week for another episode of All Roads Lead to Magic City. Follow us on all the socials at All Roads Lead to Magic City.